Hi, the lighting is very harsh tonight, but I'm going for it. And we're gonna make some crab cakes, which I like to call now Crabby Patties. Thank you, SpongeBob. Everybody has different ways to make crab cakes, and this just happens to be my recipe, which has come together through a culmination of recipes I've tried over the years. So here is how I start. I slice up some celery and prepare that so that it can be sauteing for a minute while we get everything else ready. I'm jumping right in today. Okay, once the celery is chopped, I'm going to add a little olive oil to the pan and get that sauteing for a moment. In the meantime, we're going to prepare in our bowl a mixture as follows. A scoop of mayonnaise, which is probably roughly 1/3 cup. A scoop of mustard, probably like a teaspoon, a healthy teaspoon. Going to shake some Worcestershire, probably a tablespoon. Going to sprinkle some cayenne pepper, just to give it a little kick. Sprinkling some parsley. I happen to have Penzeys parsley on hand, but I use fresh parsley if I have it, so I'm going to sprinkle a good amount of, about a teaspoon of parsley in there. Then I'm going to use my method of lemon squeezing that I learned on TikTok, and I'm going to get some lemon juice in this thing. So I poke the bottom, you squeeze, and like a stream of juice comes out. I love this technique. Wow, is that amazing? And then we're going to need an egg white. You know what I found the other day? Very excited when I was cleaning. I found a little egg separator. Crack, put the egg in here. This is exciting. And it separates the egg. Super cool. Where has this thing been hiding? I'm going to add my egg white. I'm going to give this a stir. This is the crab meat I bought. Queen of the Ocean, and it is actually jumbo lump crab meat, and I've got it all ready to come out. You could dump the crab meat into a separate bowl and make sure there's no shells. I'm pretty sure this brand is not going to have a lot of shells in it, but I will put it in a separate bowl just in case. I'm breaking it up just a little bit. You don't want to shred this too much. I'm just making sure as I feel through that there's no shells in here. And it's fine. There's no shells. Okay, I'm going to say our celery's ready. I'm just going to dump it right in the bowl with the mayonnaise mixture. And then I'm going to dump the crab meat right into it also. Here we go. Just want to break up the crab meat just enough. I want it to be nice and lumpy for your crab cakes. The last ingredient, believe it or not, is I don't like to add breadcrumbs. I think it makes the crab cakes too bready. That's a weird word, but too breadcrumby, like box breadcrumbs. So I like to take regular bread, and I've got this brand because it's a high fiber bread, 647. It's got 8 grams of fiber per serving. So it's sort of a lower net carb bread. But what I like about it, and I will show you, is for crab cakes, I don't like to use the Dave's bread because that's a little too grainy for crab cakes. And I think crab cakes warrant a softer style of bread. So I've got this bread ready to go. I'm going to take 2 slices and pop them in the toaster, and then I'm going to show you what I'll do with the other bread. And now I'll take another couple of slices here. I'm just going to peel off the crust. Crust in crab cakes is not our friend. Crust in stuffing, yes. Crust in crab cakes, no. And now I just break up the bread into pieces like so, and just drop them in. And then I stir. So you want some small, oops, they're jumping out. Let's do another one. So you want to break it up into just, I would say, 1/4 inch square pieces. So like this size. Just small pieces and just toss them in. This, I am going to go to the 3rd slice. The nice thing about making these videos for me is, number 1, my kids can see how I make this stuff because Tommy loves the crab cakes. And number 2, I actually start to pay attention to how much I use of each ingredient. So when people ask me, I can actually tell them. So that's exciting. All right, so I've got 3 slices of bread in here. Crab cakes are one of my favorite things to make in the summer. Crabby Patties. I've got my 2 slices of toast, and I'm going to bring in one of my other favorite kitchen things, which is my mini chopper. And unfortunately, I broke the lid one time. I dropped it, so I've just ordered myself a new one, but this one seems to be working. So I'm going to take the bread slices that I just toasted, and I'm going to turn them into breadcrumbs. So I'm going to and I'll keep the crust on for this. Why not? So I'm going to take it in here, the breadcrumbs, and put them on a plate like that. I'm actually going to do 2 slices, both slices. Normally you wouldn't have to hold it, but since I dropped it, I have to hold it on so it doesn't fall off. I've got a nice healthy plate of breadcrumbs ready. I've got my cookie sheet lined with parchment paper ready to go. Now I'm going to take the crab meat and form it into patties, and then I'm going to press it onto the the crumbly breadcrumb mixture so that it holds together, like so. Here we go. So I take a ball of it, and then I gently press it on one side, flip it, press it on the other side, flip it back, press it again, and then I place it on the parchment paper. Press on side 1, press on side 2, flip, press to hold those crumbs in, and then place it. So you can see the size that I'm doing, like so. You can make smaller ones or larger ones. The 1 pound of crab meat that I used makes roughly 6 portions of crab cakes, individual crab cakes. I've been thinking about making crab cakes for a couple weeks now, so I'm really excited for dinner tonight. When I don't use parchment paper, I do spray the cookie sheet. Hopefully I didn't need to spray the parchment paper, but I guess we'll soon find out if that was a mistake. And you know, mistakes are always included here. One thing you can count on is I'll give it to you straight. Okay, so on top of each Krabby Patty, I'm placing, that's too fat, a thin pat of butter. Just so that we have the opportunity for it to get a little browned on top. In the interest of deliciousness, I'm also going to drizzle a little olive oil on top of these, just to make sure that they're going to be crispy. So these are going into a 400-degree oven, and I will time it and I'll let you know how long. Here we go. Obviously you can also flash fry them in a pan instead of bake them in the oven, but I just prefer to bake them and get them all cooked on one tray. So very convenient, kind of like the pancakes, all on one tray. All right, we'll be back to you soon. I'll let you know how long it takes.
Are you ready, kids?
Aye, aye, Captain!
I can't hear you!
Aye, aye, Captain!
Oh! Who lives in a pineapple under the sea?
SpongeBob SquarePants!
Well, I hope you enjoyed the little TikTok dance. The crab cakes are almost ready, but I realized that I should make a quick dip that I usually make for the crab cakes so that you can see an easy one that is a hit. Take a little bit of mayo, squeeze a little bit of ketchup, stir it up, squeeze a bit of lemon. It's got a pink color. And then lastly, I like to just shake a bit of cayenne in it. Just about that much. Give that a stir. This is a really quick sauce to make, and it's great for shrimp when you want to dip shrimp or dip your crab cakes. It's my go-to. Delish. Here we go. They're nicely browned. About 15 minutes in, I took a spatula and I flipped them over. One of them came apart a little bit, but it's fine. So, and then another 15 minutes on the other side, and they are just perfect. So, SpongeBob and I thank you. Have a good evening, and I am excited for dinner.